Howdy pards, Mr. Holster here, just having a little coffee in the tack room, and this is what we got to talk about today. I've got a new polymer gun. No, I don't. That's a joke. What I've got here is I've got a new holster for my SIG P220, and it is made by Paso Saddlery. Yeah. And it was a little tight when it came, which often happens on these lesser expensive holsters. And they've been this one was wet molded and form fitted when it was made, but it probably shrunk up when it dried, and so it didn't quite fit. And I like to do a little extra to it myself, so this is what I did. I took my P220 and I oiled the steel frame slide on it and wrapped it in saran wrap. Then I took the holster and I dunked it in some warm water for about 15 seconds. And you don't want hot water, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But I dunked it in warm water just enough to let it soak in a little bit. It was a quick 15 seconds. And it was probably less than 15 seconds, to tell you the truth. Just I counted to 15 real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See? Any rate, so took it out and then took my gun and put it in the holster. That's simple. And then I put a little turn on the outer edge here, if you can see it, because I want to make it a little easier to reholster it. This is not going to be something I'm going to use for concealed carry. This is a range holster. I don't carry this P220. It's my old West German SIG P220, but I do like going down to the shooting range and shooting it, and I like to have holsters for my guns when I shoot them at even the range guns. So this is what I did next. Once I fit it in there and made that little turn on it, then I actually put it on my belt in the position I was going to wear it. And this piece right here was completely flat when it came out of the box. And this is what happened. It kind of molded itself to my body the way I want it to be when it's on my belt. And I wore it for about 20 minutes, so it was, and cinched that belt up good and tight. Wore it for about 20 minutes. Then I took it off, and I took the gun, and I put it on a table that was up against the wall, and just leaned it against the wall, and I let it sit like that overnight. So now we've got the holster fairly dry. It's probably almost all the way dry. We'll take the gun out of the holster. Yeah, it may have just a little bit of drying left to do, I would say, because it's a little cool to the touch, which is a sign of evaporation. So I'd say it's not dry yet, which is exactly what I want. I want to get the gun out of there before it's completely dry, because I want it to dry up and shrink just a little bit right now. Then we take our gun and we get our saran wrap back off of it. There we go. Discard that. We'll take a rag and we'll just wipe down the excess oil that I had on the slide. Get any excess oil off, and now we have it fit. But it's still not going to be done until it totally dries. Yeah. But there you go. It's contoured to my body the way I like. I've got a little contour right here. And the gun will slide right in and out perfect, because inexpensive holsters like this are usually a little undersized. You think they're undersized when they come, but not really. What they are is they're mass-produced. They shove their mold in there, quick wet mold it, take the mold out, put this on the table to dry, and do the next one. And they don't leave the mold in there while it's drying, and the leather shrinks up a little too much. So by doing that, you get it to the correct size. Now it'll shrink a little bit as it dries, and it'll be just right when it's done. Plus, I've got those little things I want, and I've made myself a fantastic holster. And when you buy a holster, you want to get one that's vegetable leather. Vegetable tan leather, because the other alternatives are chemical tan leathers that could possibly corrode your steel firearm. Not as much a concern nowadays as it used to be, now that you've got so many, I'll say it, Glocks out there, plastic firearms with real good salt-resistant finishes on the slides. But still, I am concerned about it when I see holsters in places like Cabela's that have clearly come from China, I'd be willing to bet, that are $20 or $10. I'd be leery that those are actually vegetable tanned. And nowadays you can buy yourself vegetable tan leather that is really not technically vegetable tanned. It was salt tanned or chrome tanned to start with, and then they finished the process with vegetable tan, and they're calling it a vegetable tan leather. You see what I'm saying? It still could have chemicals in there that could corrode your firearm. But here I've bought a holster from, I got it at Midway, USA. It costs $30, very inexpensive holster, but it's from a very reputable manufacturer, Paso Saddlery. Been making holsters for, I think it's like 100-some years. Yeah, they were back there in the Old West making holsters. So they use top quality material. I'm going to take it at face value. That another way to tell, you can tell a lot of the chrome and salt tan holsters just by smelling the leather. If it stinks to you, you don't like the smell, that would be a sign that maybe you better check that out. Here it smells beautiful, like brand new leather. Should smell, yeah. But you can test it, and I hate to do it on this because it's not a very big holster to start with. You can cut a little sliver off, a long sliver, and if you drop it in boiling water, if it's vegetable tanned, it'll shrivel and curl right up. If it's salt-based leather, it'll just kind of open up a little bit and lay there nice, wide, and flat, you see? Which takes me back to when you dunk this in water. That's why you don't want to dunk it in hot water. You want it slightly lukewarm, so it'll soak in a little better, but not to the point where it's advancing anywhere near hot, because you don't want to have your holster shrivel up, do you? No, you don't. And there you go. I thought I'd share this with you. It's really a fantastic little holster. Make a nice range holster for me. And it was only $30. And now I have a holster for my West German SIG P220. When I go down to the shooting range here at the ranch and shoot, I can do a little training with it, even though, no, I'm never going to carry that. But I do enjoy shooting it. There you go, pards. I hope you enjoy my review of what has turned out to be just a fantastic little holster now, just the way I want it. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. And if you're going to subscribe, now is a good time to do it, because if you subscribe to my channel, you can get in on my American Gunfighter 5,000 sub giveaway, and where I'm giving away a $350 gift certificate to Brownells when I reach 5,000 subs. And this is all you got to do to get in the contest today. Number one, you have to be a subscriber. Yeah, because if you don't subscribe, how do I get to 5,000 subs? Number two, like this video. And number three, type in down below, nice SIG, Mr. Holster. Yeah, it is a nice SIG, isn't it? Thanks for tuning in. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Till next time, go out and stay safe.